All right, boys. So we have a big deadlift session today. We're gonna be doing a banded sumo. Hopefully 6:45. We'll see how it goes. You know, been a bit run down. Hockey season, a lot of work. It is Sunday though, so we had a good rest, and we're gonna go in there and just pull as hard as we can, see if we get it up or not. Start a new 3-week wave and things like that too. So we got some new exercises we're gonna be doing. But fellas, we're just gonna put down the 8 eggs here, maybe some more carbs. We already had our oatmeal earlier, and yeah, guys, like I posted something on my Instagram story about eating 8 eggs like pre-workout. And some absolute moron who's like, "Oh well, you gotta have carbs for pre-workout. Like this ain't power food. This is that's not gonna give you energy." It's like, you know what, man? Like, you really think I don't eat carbs? You know, before I work out, like that's the oldest, like the biggest thing in the book. That's energy. Like, how dumb can you be, boys? But either way, boys, like, just to clear that up, obviously I don't eat just eggs for pre-workout. But yeah, so we're gonna down those. We're gonna change clothes, down those, change clothes. We're gonna scoze over to the gym. All right, guys. A couple hours later, brother came home. Now we're about to sco the gym. But guys, I want to say, stay tuned for the video. After the workout, I'm going to talk about my upper lower split, the switch I made it's been about 7 months ago now, and the crazy results I've gotten doing this method, this upper lower thing. You know, we'll talk about it after the video, but one of the best decisions I ever made.
Hey, little mama with that tight dress on, I got a small proposition for you. You look kinda sexy, got it going on. Here's what I want you to do.
Here's what I want you to do.
Come a little closer, let me see that thong. Let me slide this number to you. You can catch me in them streets with my blue khakis on, in my Chuck Taylor, smoking blunts with my crew.
Gangsta war.
Hey. Little mama with that tight dress on, I got a small proposition for you. You look kinda sexy, got it going on. Here's what I want you to do.
Here's what I want you to do.
Come a little closer, let me see that thong. Let me slide this number to you. You can catch me in them streets with my blue khakis on and my Chuck Taylor smoking blunts with my crew. Hey, 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 hey.
All right, fellas, workout complete. Pretty good session. Could not lock out the 645. Banded. But, I mean, when that band tugs, like off the ground, felt great. But when that band catches up with you, you know, like the name of the game with the banded guys is kind of more so than helping the lockout. It helps you strain through the lift. But really, it teaches you to be quick off the floor, like generate power at the bottom of the lift, because at the bottom of the lift, the band has the least amount of tension. So when you're coming off the floor, you want to be quick with that. So, you know, and then you can blast through that sticking point at the lockout. So if I was a little bit quicker off the floor, I could blast through that sticking point, because every little centimeter, every millimeter you go up, that band gets harder. And that's like a 100-pound tension blue band. I'm not sure like exactly what the tension is, you know, when it's fully extended, but it's like tonight it just stopped me dead in my tracks. I just kept pulling. It's just when I don't have enough momentum going into the top of the lift, I end up that's what happens. You know, without the band I can hitch it, but with the band, like, you know, pulling any further, it only gets harder. So anyways, guys, pretty good workout though. As you've seen, started doing some stiff-legged deadlifts. Switched out them with Romanian deadlifts for the next couple of weeks. We're going to rotate back and forth between those. Box squats, higher box this time around. My hip was giving me a little bit of issues, so I decided to change the box height, because like past couple of weeks I've always done the same box height. I changed the reps and sets and things like that. Same box height, same bands, and it just started really hurting my hip and kind of my knees. So I switched it up. Right now we're kind of going to exactly parallel, maybe slightly above. We'll do that for 3 weeks, progress there with the 5x5 at 295. We'll add 5 pounds a session. Then we'll go back to the 10x2 with the low box. Overall, great workout, felt good. Getting stronger, boys, hammering the weak points, but now we're gonna go home and we're gonna talk about this upper lower split that I switched to. PJ's gonna go to the hospital, cut his back off, and come home. All right, guys. It's actually 2 days after the workout you just watched. Finally get around to film this. Hopefully you guys can see me, but I want to talk a little bit about, it's been 6 to 7 months since I made the switch to 4-day-a-week upper-lower conjugate training, and it's been nothing but great. So basically I'm going to talk to you guys about exactly kind of how I do it. This ain't going to be the most comprehensive review of it right now, but I kind of want to just give you guys an idea and tell you the results that I've been getting from this system. It's absolutely crazy. You know, after being plateaued for like a year and a half, actually decreasing on my stiff bar deadlift and hitting like a 5-pound squat PR and bench going up maybe 10 pounds a year. This has been awesome. It's been crazy the past 6-7 months. So I started this May this year. Now it's like mid-December. So we're looking at 6-7 months. Pretty sure. I don't know. I'm not counting. Not that smart, boys. But basically, results-wise, when I started this, I was 210, 212 pounds, somewhere around there. Now we're sitting at 223, 224 daily. And it seems like I'm gaining a pound and a half, a pound and a half, 2 pounds a month, which is honestly right where you want to be at a nice lean bulk. As you guys can tell, looking at the pictures now compared to back then, we're still pretty lean. We're around the same leanness. Obviously, all those gains isn't lean mass, like muscle tissue, but the gain's been pretty damn lean. And along with that, the big three, the reason I made the switch in the first place, have skyrocketed. Bench, when I started this, 275, 280 from a touch and go max, depending on the day, somewhere around there. It was one or the other, 285 maybe even. Now we're up to 325. 330 is there. Depending on the day and how I feel, pretty much. I know it's there, it's so close. About a week ago, hit a 315 for a 3x1 and was like air. So I'm pretty sure that's there. That's about a 40-pound increase in half a year. Squat next. We started this out, 525 was my max at the time. We're up now to 565. Tomorrow we'll be attempting 570. for another low bar PR. So that's 40 pounds right there in itself in half a year. Crazy. Stiff bar deadlift. Actually, when I started this, my stiff bar sumo deadlift was at 640. Failed 645 actually like the week before I made, like that might have been the nail in the coffin. Was failing 645. Like tonight you guys see me almost pull 645 banded. I couldn't even get I failed that lift without a band 6 months ago. And now we're up to 680 stiff bar for sumo PR. So we got 40 pounds on my deadlift. Now guys, those 40 pound increases in 6 months, when you're squatting in the 500s, deadlifting in the 600s, that's crazy. 6-7 months, you added 40 pounds to your 1 rep max. As an advanced lifter, it's nuts. Come May next year at this time when I make the 1 year review on upper lower, I might be talking about adding 40 to 80 to 100 pounds to my maxes within a year as an advanced lifter. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, progress on the system has been absolutely unreal. Feeling better than ever on the system because a lot of variation and the way it's laid out. So basically, guys, the way it's laid out is upper, lower, day off, upper, lower, day off, repeat. Most upper, lower conjugate programs have 2 days off somewhere here and there. It's split up to only train 4 days a week. I am basically have just been rolling upper, lower, day off, upper, lower, day off. So technically I'm hitting 5 sessions per week. But all these sessions are spread out by 72 hours. So the first upper session is done, and you won't be hitting your second upper session until 72 hours later, which is key for recovery of the joints. Obviously the muscles are recovered completely by then, but then also the CNS. So I'm able to push as hard as I can every session. And this goes the same for lower. That is one of the key things I think that has helped me progressive overload more. And by being able to progressive overload more, I've been able to grow more. Also along with that, the weak point training. So when you split up your upper and lower sessions, I max out. And the thing is too, I don't run it like typical conjugate, 1 max effort day, 1 max effort upper, 1 lower. I actually max out once a week on a squat variation and once a week on a deadlift variation. And then after my max deadlift variation for the week, I do my dynamic day. And then for pressing, I'll max out usually twice a week on 2 different presses just, for variation purposes. And I feel great, and I've been making great progress off it. Honestly, I think the extra maxing is good for me. Some people can't do that all the time, but for me, I find it to work. And maxing, I think, is a lot of people have this misconception that if you max out, you're going to be drained. And I don't really find. I find like volume is the killer. Heavy 4 sets of 5, heavy 4 sets of 5, like at 85%, 80%. That kills me more than hitting a 1 rep max. 1 rep max is I actually feel fresh. I don't feel like too ran down. Obviously, if I did, I don't think I'd be able to progress the way I have been. So that's basically the way I run it. It's a little different. But then being able to hyper focus on your weak points. So for my presses, my triceps really made them a priority. And then for my lower body, my low back, my squats are blowing up when I started getting better at good mornings and strengthening my lower back, adding a lot more rows. It's just a lot more hyper focused training that carries over to your 1 rep max strength and hypertrophying certain areas that need to come up to make you stronger. I think it's best system ever. And the reason I made this choice was what kind of drew me to the upper lower conjugate was, basically you have a choice between, as a power lifter, somebody trying to get strong, RPE, DUP, 12 week, whatever, you max out once every 12 weeks type program, or you got something where you're maxing out every single week. And I set it up in a way that, is pretty traditional. You're not doing too much variation, but you're doing just enough. For me personally right now, rotating maxes every 3 to 4 weeks, that's when I come back around and try to PR. It's been working good. So I kind of found the sweet spot. And I got a couple guys I'm coaching right now doing the same thing. So if you guys are interested in coaching, I want to kind of start up with that, get some more clients, and send me a DM on Instagram. But this isn't the most comprehensive review on the upper lower split, but I'll make a better video here in the future talking more about it. why I like it so much. But that's just kind of an update now. 6-7 months in, 10 more pounds, and way more jacked and way more stacked. Fellas, thanks for watching. Come rate, subscribe. See you in the next one.